Hello everyone, this is Zooc. Today I'm bringing you a new logo design video. This one is going to be for a YouTube show called 8 Bits. 8 Bits belongs to JP McDaniel, the same guy who commissioned me for the Warhammer logo, and also DJ Wheat, who is a co-host. And it's basically a show centered around gaming discussion and reviewing the latest news and what's been happening in the gaming world. So the initial logo for the show was this, which is far from a logo, let's be honest. It's just a title written with the system font, the Windows default font, which is quite horrendous. And basically the whole theme was kind of like semi-retro, but to be honest, I'm kind of sick of seeing retro stuff. Like it's been done over and over and over again. Everyone is fucking doing it. It's like the newest fad, and it's boring for me. So I decided to take the retro thing to sort of a different level. The show is called 8 Bits. They discuss 8 bits of news each show. So I took just a regular 8-bit square, really, just 8 different pixels, and used the 3D effect in Illustrator to give them some perspective, and just made them really like modern and slick looking. Because quite honestly, these can actually be used as multi-purpose. If you're gonna see in the end, you can have the different news titles or various images or whatever in the respective squares. So it's the logo has more use than one. This isn't intended to be used in print or anything like that, so it doesn't need to be monochromatic or anything like that. It's strictly used on screen, so I could basically go full blast with gradients and all the crazy shit that you generally avoid when making a logo that you know is going to be printed. So this video is basically going to be like a demonstration of very fundamental skills, really, very basic stuff. Like I don't use anything fancy. I create all the effects by hand pretty much because I just see it as going faster than trying to experiment with layer styles a lot. Layer styles being the things that give you the drop shadows and all the effects and shit for people that are clueless about Photoshop. But yeah, what I do is just basically build most of my stuff by hand, experimenting with eraser, brushes, whatever, just playing around, really. Projects like this are always fun to do for me because there's no real limitation. Like, the guy didn't have any concept whatsoever of what he wanted. He just linked me what they currently have, which is, you saw what it looked like, and gave me freedom to do whatever I wanted. And in the end, he did accept this logo as it is. You're going to see at the end, like, some color variations. I played a little bit with different color schemes. But in the end, I mean, the logo it doesn't really have a clear meaning because, well, it sort of has a double meaning. But at the same time, it's meant to be as the kind of eye candy that attracts the eye, something modern. Basically, the guy is revamping his entire graphics package for the shows he does on YouTube. He's kind of a dedicated commentator of various things and bits, and he runs the Warhammer role-play show with Total Biscuit and the rest. So, it's important to have sort of attractive-looking package of graphics. Lol, sex jokes. Package attractive. Yeah, anyway, an attractive looking array of graphics to use for thumbnails and such, something that catches the eye. So I tend to be very colorful with these, use a lot of bright colors. As I said in my previous videos, orange and red are kind of my favorite colors to use in graphics, not to like wear in real life or anything. I only wear black in real life most of the time. But when doing graphics, orange just seems like a nice color to look at, not for a very long time, but when you're making something like a thumbnail, something that's supposed to attract attention, then using colors such as this is okay because you're not going to be staring at it for long. So down to the font choosing, this is like one of the most painful things, finding a font that actually fits whatever you're going for, especially when you don't really know what you're going for. But I wanted just something chunky that would just attract attention and not make it so that it's ignored due to the colorfulness of the squares around it. But I didn't really have a plan going forward. Like, I just sort of, the guy told me, like, I want this logo, and this is the first thing I thought about in my head for some reason, because it's sort of like, oh shit, it's retro again. Like, he wants like pixel, blah blah blah. Fuck that. I'm gonna do this instead. And apparently it was a good idea because the logo got accepted on the first draft, pretty much. So I guess it's good to trust my instincts on the matter. So now I'm just finishing up playing around with some layer styles for the font. I always like to experiment a little bit and not just use the default ones because that's pretty lazy. But overall, I mean, I was pretty pleased with it, and everyone I showed it to was pleased with it, including the guy that commissioned me for it. And it was an overall success, I guess. But I did experiment with various color schemes because red was a color that he apparently often used in various thumbnails for his YouTube shit. So he didn't want yet another red logo. Over there I decided to stray from the orange because I thought it was just too much of it, and do some black and white instead, which always looks nice with in combination with red. And I wasn't planning on it, but in the end I ended up doing it in green, as you can see in the following image, which is not really a color that I often work with, but I think it works really well here, and I really like the contrast, and in the end I prefer it that way more than the red version myself. So anyway, please rate that shit if you enjoyed it. That's been the 8-Bits logo for JP, and I'll see you for my next videos. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.